Welcome to the Frontier Forward Asia edition. I'm thrilled to bring you this special series where we spotlight incredible leaders shaping the future of business across Asia. Together with our partner executives, we'll explore bold ideas, breakthrough innovations, and collaborative spirit that drives transformation in this dynamic region. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Let's create and lead the AI frontier together.
So welcome, Frank. Thanks for joining us today. It's really great to have you here. And for the benefit of the audience, could you please introduce yourself to them?
Thank you, Richard, and thank you for the invitation for today. So my name is Frank. I'm working in FPT Software for the last 4 years, and I'm managing now the corporate growth and the strategy for the company. And under that scope, in fact, we are developing a partnership with Microsoft globally.
Very cool. Corporate growth and strategy. Tell us more a little bit about what your organization do and what are the markets that you serve?
FPT Software is a Vietnamese IT service company that belongs to the FPT group. And we are delivering IT services to all our customers globally in order to help them for their digital transformation, AI transformation, and tomorrow frontier transformation, so they can solve their most critical business problem along that way.
I understand that you have quite a global footprint, if you will. And I'd love to hear a little bit more about recent example of impactful story, like with a customer building on the Microsoft Cloud.
So as we're in Asia, let's take an example with Japan. You know that in Japan, many companies are quite legacy still and difficult for them to do this transition to data and AI. So we are working since now it will be 16 months with a road construction company that used to have very legacy system, data a little bit everywhere and so on. And slowly we moved them from the very classic SharePoint to the cloud. Then from here, moved them to the data fabric to organize all their data. And very recently, in fact, we introduced to them all the Agentic framework and so on. And they just signed a contract 2 weeks ago to move to all the fabric plus Agentic to develop some use case on the security, service, knowledge retention, and so on. So, which was quite interesting and showing also the impact that we can have with all those new technology and Microsoft Cloud and Azure in order to help the customer, in fact, to solve their transformation challenge and be more efficient. Especially in Japan, you have the problem of retention for the knowledge as people are quite old, and leveraging Agentic AI and Fabric help us with that purpose.
Yeah, especially when they're faced with the aging population and the workforce itself. So during the project, did you face like a challenge, and then how do you overcome it together with Microsoft?
I think the first one was really to convince the customer first, because the big, large Japanese corporation, they tend to fear to become the first one to test. So this is where with Microsoft and the support, especially of your technical team, we explain them all the use cases that exist to give them confidence. And then also, as it was already 16 months engagement, as I was mentioning, technology is changing very fast. We have Fabric now with Agent, we have Fabric now with Ontology for the Agentic framework. So working with your technology team also to be able to skill fast our people and then to bring that knowledge to the customer to build the best solution with the best blueprint was very important for this engagement.
I like the point about scaling fast to be able to overcome the challenges itself. Obviously, you have now quite a lot of experience under your belt working with Microsoft. So what are the best practices or advice from your experience that you can share with our audience?
Oh, that's a good question. I will not say that I have a long experience because it will be 16 months of managing also the partnership with Microsoft. No, but I think that what helped FPT to really scale fast in the partnership with Microsoft, I will say is discipline. We have to be very disciplined on how we are working together. You have a clear process for a sales process that we have also to map on the sales process to be really aligned with your definition, how you are working and so on. And also a consistency. To not have a relationship that is a kind of confetti relationship, but something that is really consistent, where the teams always engage together, where we are sharing the problem, but also sharing the success together to motivate the team. And this was some of the key factors that help us to grow very quickly in the last 16 months to where we are today with Microsoft in terms of partnership.
That's great to hear. Our audience is always very keen to learn from our partners. So Frank, 2026 has been framed of the year of the agents. And I'm sure there's a lot of conversations that you're having with customers around Agentic AI itself. So in your experience, in your interactions with customers, what are you seeing? What are you hearing from your customers?
I think that we're seeing a shift with the classic, I would say, copilot that is more an assistant to really an agentic digital worker that will be more a colleague that you will have in your organization with whom you can interact, you can delegate activities, tasks, and you can also manage like you're managing real people. And that agent will help you, in fact, in your work. And this, when we explain it to our customer, this is where they see big shift in their operation and how they can accelerate at the same time their internal transformation, but also better engagement with our customer and so on. It is still difficult to explain, and I think what we saw during Ignite, all the latest product that you have with the IQ and this ontology mapping is really helping those agentic digital workers to work very well and to start to really be able to act on behalf of the people.
That's great. So it's the customers are really warming up to this idea and really thinking about seriously how would they combine humans and agents together to work on their processes.
Yes, this is what we see. And even us, we are one of your customer zero. So this year, for example, CHRO, that is managing the human resources, under his responsibility, we'll have to manage also digital worker. So he's no longer managing physical people, he's also managing digital people. So this is a change in the scope of that work. And we see this not only in our organization, but in other organizations where the human resources now is managing both workforce.
It's really glad to hear that the customers are really warming up to this. But I think we also hear from customers that they are concerned about security, data security, how the agents will have access to data and doing some of these tasks autonomously. So there's certainly concerns. How are you addressing this in your conversations with customers?
It's true that today, one of the most critical challenges that we have to face are the security team in our customer that are wondering how they can manage that flow of information, how they can manage systems that are accessing, for example, critical information for the companies and so on. And this is where I think Microsoft has an edge, because with everything that you push on the Agent 365, basically you are treating that security as an agent the same way that you are treating the security of a physical person. Basically, we can do with the agent everything we are doing with physical person. So the rule-based access, security, cyber, monitoring all the log activities and so on, and which helps to have, I would say, a governed and secure professional enterprise platform, which give a lot of confidence then to our customer on how we'll deploy all those agents in a very governed and secure, compliant infrastructure at the end of the day. So that's an edge that we have compared to your competitor today.
What is the one thing or what advice you would leave with our audience?
Believe in the trust of the partnership and the trust of the people also. I used to tell my salespeople, salespeople, all their account is very personal. I'm always afraid to say, but why do I need to give my contact point to a partner and so on? And tell them, you can trust Microsoft 100%. And showing that trust, in fact, help us to really unlock problems that we may face. And these are normal problems that we'll have. And also will help, in fact, the partnership to grow exponentially and to be really strong with all the new challenge that we'll face together, and also to develop a strong business together at the end of the day. So it's still a people things.
Yes, absolutely. People are still crucial. Thanks for sharing with us all the insights and experience that you had with your customers. And thank you so much, Frank, for the partnership. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Richard, and thank you for the invitation for today. It was very nice to talk to you about technology and those challenges that we are all facing today, and that thanks to Microsoft, we are solving quite well.
Thank you.
Thank you.